today's
I
session.
didn't join for that. I'm here to
No, yes, you did.
support
Yes,
you
you did.
guys.
That's okay.
Okay. I like what you guys are doing. I'm here to help.
The thing, as long as you brought swag, we're all good.
Sure.
Happy to have you. Happy to have you.
Sounds
And
good.
you're missing your +1 on these sessions. Don't think we haven't noticed.
My +1?
Yeah, what's your +1?
Oh, do I have to bring someone?
Yes, it's usually around your house.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, absolutely. She thinks she can do it without any help, and we're talking about my wife, and without it's the reason why I love her. She's stronger than I. I need help. She does not. So just sometimes it's that way.
All right, let's go. Uh, no, so why don't you
Cool. Um,
you start, Kyle? You pick it up.
cool. So today was kind of a relaxed day. Kind of more, celebrating that we got our first project, the logic down, right? So we're kind of just taking this time to have more of a conversation about tech, um, and really polishing up this project. Adding some CSS, making it look pretty now. So we have something really nice to show off, not just logic wise, but also the um, the actual view, presentation wise, for whoever looks at this. Someone's background noise. It's,
Let's all mute ourselves so that Kyle can figure
yeah,
out what's going on.
I think I got it. Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, that's kind of what I am going to. That's what we're going to kind of pick back up. So just a preview of what we're going through. I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Kyle, before we go do the intros and then we'll go on to the screens. I think
Intro.
Mustafa's new,
Good
and
point.
then Boca JS new for the newbies.
Yes, Mustafa. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I think it's me. I'm trying to figure out how to mute because this is my first day here, so
It's okay. We're gonna kind of pick on you a little bit and ask you to introduce yourself to everyone. Kind of tell your background, why you're
oh
trying to get into programming, etc.
yeah, so I'm like a beginner. I just started learning like 6 months ago, and I I started with C++, with the basics, and then I moved on to JavaScript and like the React and the Node. That's where I am right now.
Cool, cool. So before all of this, what were you doing?
Before, well, like, I was studying a different major, and I just like that wasn't for me, and I just switched to programming, and I think this is what I like. That's what I'm good at.
Cool, cool, awesome. Um, I guess I'll since everyone's muted now. I'll do a open welcome for everyone that you're here. Hopefully, we learn as much from you as we hope you'll get from this community that we're trying to build here. Yeah, I think I'll share my screen now. 1 second. This is kind of just a preview of what we've been building. I would say the past 3 or 4 weeks. Here we go. Cool. So please type a 1 if you remember this mess of code that we put together. and it's starting to work pretty well. Nice. Let me move this out of the way. Cool. So if we're already in the Connect4 folder. Remember, if you're pulling in this repo, you start off in Connect4. So if let me expand this a little bit. So if I first git pull this project, you will be in this folder here. And we're actually working in the Connect4 inside of Connect4. That won't be for future projects, but for this one specifically, you have the CD into Connect4, and then you can run npm start. So once we run this runs React. We start up our development server, get localhost 3000. And this is what we have right now, which seems fine. If we open up the log, this is kind of just to catch everyone up to where we are. We can click, and we still have some logs coming out here. But if we, for example, cool. If we, for example, go here, we can display. Well, looks like we're running into something already, so that's good. I guess we could do a little debugging here. Get out of this. Let's see, this should be a vertical check. Let's make sure we're doing everything. So talking about the structure of our code, for anyone new, we created this Connect4 game, right? And how we set it up, we thought this would be a good way to talk about components, which is a big part of React, both components and state. So how this handles that is we created this big board component, which has this purple outline on it. And then we have these different game slot components, which is just each one of these. And if you think about it, kind of like a graph, this is basically our X and Y axis, right? So we have 0, 0 starting here, and so forth. So how we're doing this in the code, we have in our components folder, we have board.js and also slot.js. They each both have their own Sass files, which is what we're primarily going to be in today. Just making this look a bit better, more presentable. So we started off, this is kind of how we decided to create our multi-dimensional array. And this is kind of showing kind of how it's placed. This is more for visual representation when you're looking through your code. So this is really where all the logic's happening, right? So when we run into this bug of it should be logging player 1 or 2, whichever one is red, has 1. We don't see that here. So I'm gonna try a different one and see if that works. The reason I'm trying a different one, by the way, we don't have to be muted. Just whoever had the background noise could mute. We really want to, have this an open dialogue, open conversation, kind of. So
I do have a question, Kyle.
Awesome.
Not too much related to the logic and React, but since we're going to go through Sass, would you recommend for us to dive into kind of like studying a little bit more, learning more Sass, or not waste your time with that?
Sass, I think if you know CSS, you can apply those skills very well to Sass. Sass is kind of, to show a better example, just really quick. In normal CSS file, It's probably not a good example.
I do have my son with his game, so I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, so for a normal CSS file, let's say this slot display has inside of it a game slot like this. So instead of calling game slot here, you could also call, actually, let's say this has a div inside of it. So with normal CSS, you would do dot slot display, and you would do space div.
Yeah.
To basically say that it's the child, right?
Yeah.
What we get to do here is, instead of doing this, imagine if it has multiple different things that you're trying to access inside of it. Instead of repeating this, because what we really try to do with code is don't repeat yourself. It's a dry principle. So what we could do, DRY, don't repeat yourself. What we could do is instead just go here, and the div can go here. Right? That's really the main functionality that Sass gives you. It gives you other things as well, but learning CSS, I think the core of CSS is more important than learning Sass necessarily.
All right. Thank you.
But knowing Sass doesn't hurt. I don't want to persuade you not to learn Sass. So if we go back to this board, we have kind of this functionality happening. I just beat myself. Nice. So if I went here, it should be logging that we have a winner. So it looks like we're not doing that. So the logic's happening inside of board.js. This is where all of our state is happening from React. We have our turn. So if it's player 1 or 2, we have the winner and we have board. So we separated this using vertical check, horizontal check, / check, which is this direction, and / check. So we have this function that runs all of them called check winner player. Okay, so this is why we're not logging. So this is a good example of why it's good to kind of have some type of structure with our code. Originally, how we tried to write this is we tried to have every check inside of one function. And the reason that was bad is because it's harder to read when you come back. And I don't know about you guys, but I've written plenty of code where when you look back at it, you realize, you ask yourself, what were you doing? And you wish you thought about it in the future or in the past. So we're going to start.
You were reading my mind. You were get out of my mind.
Yeah. So if we get this, should be compiling now. Hopefully this works. We'll do my special trick that I used to beat my brother. So now he's trapped. He's got to pick which side to block me on. And we go here. Player 1 is the winner. So this is basically our functionality. We can handle anything from here, right? And anything from this point, once we have a winner, is we just add a view, add a style. We could add a crown or something. I don't know. But that's really what we're here today to do. So I am going to, just before we do this, look for all of the logs that we have, and everything that isn't calling out a winner, we want to take that out. By the way, this repo you can find online at a route that I will send. Actually, Donald, can you send the link to the actual repo? Please. Cool. So
It's the private one, right, Kyle?
yes. After, yeah.
No, no
if
problem. No
you guys,
problem. I'll send it right now if you're okay with that.
awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And if you guys find out that you don't have access or you can't see it, just message inside of the chat, and we'll add you to the GitHub team. Cool. So let's finish getting the rest of these logs out. Cool. So once again, I want to say congratulations, everyone, because we got through the really difficult. We did not originally anticipate how much logic or math did. There was a couple, I guess, disagreements that we had about what should go where, how we should attack this problem. So I think it's a sigh of relief that we made it through all of that, and we can really just focus on making our product look better. So without further ado, anyone want to recommend any approaches to how we should style Connect 4? There's no such thing as a bad idea.
I think you have a great idea with the color yellow. I think that's how I remembered it. Maybe I'm older than everybody else. Looks like blue has been the new choice.
Yeah, I just noticed that too.
Yeah, but I think you've done it well.
So is everyone okay with yellow?
Yep, yellow is fine.
Cool. Cool. So let's see what we have here. We have yellow. I guess we could make these look a little better, right? We can probably.
Have you tried that border blue, like the original Connect 4?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So make this purple blue.
Yep.
Cool. Let's try that. Let's try. I wonder where we put this. So what I'm gonna do, quick debugging tip.
Can you use inspect?
Yeah, that's what I was about to do.
Okay.
Thank you for that, actually. So we're just looking for this right here, right? So how we found this is we inspected it. I use this to hover over, so it takes me exactly to that element. So once you click that, it takes you to the element over here. You can kind of see the styles. Let me make this a little bigger.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, are we supposed to be able to see your screen?
Yeah, you are.
Because I'm just seeing you.
You can go on the bottom right on the little 3 dots, and then I think that it tells you change layout.
Maybe I have it set up wrong.
It's like highlights speaker or something.
Yeah, we can see Kyle.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, we
got
can
it.
see his
I
stuff.
see both on my end.
Yeah, I'm good.
Got it.
Good? Oh, you guys are lifesavers. Thank you. All right, so we're using the keyword purple somewhere in here. So I'm just going to do a global search for purple. There we go. So we're putting this exactly into the app. Weird choice now that I think about it. So we want to change this to blue. Specific types of blue. This is kind of just, we're freestyling this, right? So
You can go to CSS color picker.
Thank you.
Maybe grab an RGB.
Ooh, does this look solid?
Yeah.
That was right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna, yeah. So we'll take this and we'll just substitute that for purple. Nice.
Looks better. Maybe a little bit Do you like it that thin?
Thicker?
Just like 0.5 maybe?
0.5
No,
or
1.5 maybe. Just to see how it looks.
so speaking of
I like
units
it.
for CSS, typically there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. Pixels, gosh, it's a lot. We'll just type in
Pixels,
CSS units.
viewport,
Right.
pixels, viewport, rems. Is it rem the most recommended, right?
From what I've heard, rem, just because I used to use ems a lot and things would be unpredictable, and that's because I didn't understand it. So what ems is it's relative to the font size of its parent,
Mhm.
where rem is relative to the size of the element. So that keeps everything
Yeah.
consistent. Where if you change, let's say that its parent had a header font size, everything's based off of that now, which is gets kind of ridiculous. So that's why I used rems here, just in case anyone wanted to know.
I like rems too.
So what else should we style? Should we
The
style the
circles,
actual? Yeah.
maybe some shadow.
Well, can we take these numbers out of here first?
Yeah.
So we did all our math already, so I guess we could take that out. Cool. So we'll just take this out. Looks like we could take this out for now. So I'm kind of just cleaning it up a little bit. Once again, this is just so when we read it back, it just looks a lot nicer. Cool. So
Nice.
how should we style these? Does this look okay?
They look. I would probably consider like a shadow.
A shadow.
Drop
Meaning,
shadow. What's the name? Go to CSS, either Mozilla or W3.
nice.
With,
So major
drop
keys.
shadow, I think it is.
Box shadow?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. So what is your idea about this?
Shoot. Because they're supposed to be holes, right? So how could we make it look like an actual hole until you fill it in?
That's a good question.
It
Maybe if
it
we,
has to be like a 3D
you know what we
thingy.
could do? If we have some type of like background image, let's say like a house or something, so that way you can see the background
Through it.
or not.
Like a tree, like a park or something like that. But they're too small, no?
Yeah,
So
can you
how-
make the circles a little bigger?
Dope. Yes,
Yeah.
we can. If we go into CSS,
Yay.
slot, game slot. So right now these are static. We'll talk about responsive once we get further in.
We're gonna do media queries today.
I think what'll oh, that doesn't look right. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, we chose that size because nothing else worked.
Oh, that's a good one. I think what we should do, so this is a little bit more structured, right? Because we're kind of moving all over the place right now. Let's, instead of attacking these things one-on-one, let's just make a list of things we want to accomplish first.
Okay.
So I think someone put a notes Nice. So we'll just go here. All right. So we want to accomplish a background.
Mhm.
What else? The slot sizing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? I'll go back to the view so everyone can see.
Maybe remove the margin.
Remove the margin.
Does it have? I'm sorry. What's the name of that black line around the gray circle? Border.
Oh, okay.
Remove the border, maybe. Yeah.
I have a curveball. How about the effect of the little coin going down the column?
Holy.
Ooh.
Holy.
So we'll do it after. Nice.
That's a good one. Oh.
Okay.
Who said that one?
So there's this
Donald.
library or this extension for Google Chrome that I get. Sometimes it helps to look at the structure of CSS. So if I click here, it'll kind of show what we're actually doing, right? So we can kind of see why things are sized the way they are. If this helps anyone.
Also, for CSS, using Mozilla Firefox is very good for using grid. Because
Dope.
it has like the grid line the Chrome doesn't have.
Really?
Mhm.
I'm gonna actually take a personal note of that. That's really cool. That's a major key.
Yep. So if you're gonna use CSS grid, use it on Firefox.
Nice.
Noted.
So it's we have right now background, slot sizing, remove slot border. Is there anything else we're missing, or is that seem about right?
About right.
Cool. So I want to click one of these. The reason why I want to see what's going on.
Can we add something that says whose turn it is?
Ooh.
That's even better. So how about this? Yeah, we do.
Player 1, player 2.
We could do whose turn. And we'll say basically to make the board not full width. / height. The reason I think this would be a good approach is because the board usually has a similar dimension, right? So right now we have it based off of the window. And although that was good to help us test, when you look at the actual Connect 4 game, what we're doing is it's the same kind of height and width, no matter, it's the same proportions, right? So I think this one should be the first one, unless anyone has any objections at all. Should be the first.
I object.
Okay. Got to explain.
Oh, I have objections. I don't have explanations. You asked for one.
Okay. Objections and explanations. All right. So let's make this full width and height first. So
I don't understand what you're trying to do with full width and height again.
So right now we have it here.
Mm-hmm.
So the height is dependent on the actual screen, right?
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the width, I think, is also dependent on the screen.
Okay.
So what we want to do is keep the board kind of static. right? So it doesn't change its sizing until we make it like super responsive.
Okay, gotcha.
So should we make the board smaller?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because
We have this game board right here, right? So should we? Right now, the height is 100
So
view
maybe
height.
80, 75.
85 view height.
It does view height, right? I'd say
Yeah.
75. You can try that too.
So with 85 view height, it's still changing based off the height, though.
So maybe it's gonna have to be half, maybe.
I think we shouldn't use the. So it's gonna always be based off of the height if we use view height. So what's another unit we can use?
We use like a percentage of
Port view.
percentage with padding.
You could try percentage.
Okay, port view. No.
That kind of keeps it static.
Hold on.
Kind of.
It's kind of weird. But
There's gonna
Yeah.
switch.
Really weird.
How about using viewport units? Viewport, is that what you're using?
Maria, you're gonna have to explain what viewport units are.
So viewport is based on. Hold on. It's based on the height of the view. The viewport is what you're looking at without having to scroll down.
Right.
So if you put a relative to that without having to scroll, probably. I don't know. I'm just trying here.
No, it's good. So what's the
It's hard to explain it. I guess I'm just understanding it myself.
how do you normally do this? Like a VP,
VW. No,
VW.
I'll tell you right
So you want to change the width?
now.
Okay.
It's what VH. I'm sorry, VW viewport high view width. VH. Oh, sorry.
Let's try.
See, this
So
is why I
remember
copy
we
CSS.
started off with view height, right? So just an explanation of what we're doing.
VH.
We want this to, let's say it's I'm guessing here 150 pixels by 150 pixels. We want it to be that way no matter how much this changes or how much this changes. So if we do it based off of the view, technically it'll always change.
Oh, gotcha.
So we want something static, a static system. So like pixels or rems or something else. So if we go back to the units, once again, this part is kind of, it's more creative, right? But it's also it's an art, but it's also a science. So we have M's, we have rems,
REM.
view width. So all of these are relative, right? So you have to look at what they're relative to. So these are relative to views.
Oh, so that's what you're doing, the VA. Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Whereas-
recommend that we use the width and the size at first, and then start using the viewport.
Nice hat, Miguel. Man.
Yeah.
Look at
The only one that I
style of
have
this
left, my God,
guy.
wait.
You have to make sure you put in
All the other ones.
show it off.
Make sure
Otherwise-
there's 14 of us in the chat here, so make sure you dispatch that this week, okay?
All right, so let's just do 400 pixels for now. And
Oh, go for it.
let's say 500 pixels wide.
I'm sure there's a guide somewhere that's gonna tell us the exact numbers, but let me see if I find it.
Does this look decent for now, at least?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking better.
Cool.
That looks
So we have
nice.
this. Right now, this is the app, right? Because we put that sizing on the actual app, which is very odd. If I did that, I really apologize. But let's
It was
take
you
the
before your
border.
meeting. Yes, it was you.
Thank you. All right. Let's go to board.js or board module.sass. And let's put the background or the border here. Refresh, and there's no border. Yep. I forgot who, but I met someone who ran into this bug recently, and I actually do this a lot, transferring from style inside of a component and to access or SAS. These aren't strings anymore, so major key. Cool. So we have this functionality. Hopefully, still works. It's also important to know that we're not changing the actual logic behind this. We're just changing the styles now.
That looks
All right.
so
So
much
what else?
nicer.
Yeah, I think so. So now we need a background.
What about censoring it?
Random. I know there's centering. Ooh. I like the idea of that. So this board is inside of app, so we'll probably have to go into app CSS this time. Or text line. Center. Maybe text line isn't working. Nope. All right. So, any suggestions on how we should center this before I recommend something that's my favorite? We're centering this. So, if we look at the elements,
Could you try just align item center?
align item center. Cool. So, if we go back to app.css. Nope.
Okay.
Should we just make the horizontal margin automatic?
Oh, that's another good way. So one way that I like, so anything that has to do with centering at all, anything that needs to go in the middle, I instantly default to display flex. As I think with this, and you do align item center. Okay, so I think I know why this wasn't working. It's justify content. So what these three lines do, I basically copy and pasted these into the back of my brain because I don't like to think about this type of stuff a lot. This is how you get stuff in the direct middle always. Really helpful. Cool. So that seemed to have done it. What else?
Do we need to center it vertically?
Center it vertically. We could do that one after. I think it is centered vertically. If you remember, we look into app. This is the app, right? So technically inside of app, it is centered vertically. So a way we could fix this is just have this show the whole screen, I guess. So we could say height 100. This is a part where we could probably use view height, like Maria was talking about. Now it's centered vertically. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, but that's okay.
Kyle, do me a favor, can you copy paste that part of the text align from 2 to 6 on the chat, please?
This part?
The whole thing. The whole. Yeah, that whole thing.
Paste it where? In the
on the chat.
Yeah.
I'm using it for the notes for today.
Let's go.
Thanks.
Where should I put this in?
No, whatever.
I'll make a thread here.
That works.
Does anyone know what show this is from?
Seinfeld.
Sorry, I'm a little uncultured. So.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were like testing us or.
No, I was definitely not testing you. I'm just very uncultured.
You gotta watch Kramer.
Yeah, I do watch this thing with it, Big Bang Theory, and that's one of my favorite shows. Just a side note, if you wanted to know an interesting fact about Kyle. Cool. So we have this here. What else should we do? Let's look at our checklist. So this one is out of here. I'm gonna do something really quick.
So the background's next.
Check emoji. Icon. Yeah, this. I just want to copy and paste that. Sorry. I just wanted to put a check there. Okay, so we have background next. Any idea what our background should look like? I recommend SpongeBob. It's completely up to a vote. We can have a vote.
SpongeBob's fine.
What about Bikini Bottom?
Better.
Do you want actual the character SpongeBob?
No, I was looking for like his house.
Oh.
His like house next to Squidward's and Patrick's.
Yeah.
Bikini Bottom. Nope.
Okay, great, Kyle. So this is class, I guess. We're doing a swimsuit catalog next week.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing innocent about the your class, Kyle.
Town. I'm sorry.
See, now we're rated we're not rated PG anymore on YouTube.
I guess
I was gonna say that.
Straight to our.
Yeah, because it's recorded. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. This went from SpongeBob to okay.
What if I want with Squidward like screaming?
Squidward screaming?
No, there's that.
Oh my lord!
Remind me.
All right, let's.
Yeah, get that too.
So, static files. Where do they usually go? If anyone wants to.
An assets folder, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
On the source.
Which would be in this public folder.
Oh, public.
Right. So it's labeled different things in different libraries, but usually I see static, public, and assets used. So anywhere like that. Anyone who's in the Grammerhub web project, right now we're using Next.js, and the folder is actually called static instead of public. So we have Bubbletown. Now we can import this, hopefully. So let's go to our board. How are we going to do this? Because right now we have background color, right? So if we did background image, we do this URL and...
Can we put game board inside some other kind of document?
Some other kind of... Sorry, you have to repeat that.
So what is the white background right now in the? I don't know if you could insert that element to determine what that.
Oh, that's the app. Yeah, let's go do that. So you're saying this right here?
All that white space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual app. So what we could do is put it on the app, but now the app is the full width of the screen instead of the board. Tricky. So, any ideas?
You can do one thing. Just make a class, a different class, and then you put the background there from start.
From start?
I mean, we have a wrapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once you add the other class next to it, it should be able to pick it up. If we add a
I'm gonna start this live share. That started yet. Oh boy.
hold on.
Oh boy. Thank you for letting me know that. Cool. So I'm gonna add this to the chat. Sorry I didn't add this before. There you guys go. Cool. So I'm gonna test out this while everyone's getting in. I'm gonna test out this background image using the actual public folder. Bubble Town. Aha. So it looks like our source folder isn't going to be. It needs to be in our source folder in order for this to work. So I'm going to change this. Let's make a static folder inside of source. Move Bubble Town there. So I'm going to take all of this out and we're going to rewrite this. Static Bubble Town. Cool. Here we go. Nice. So we kind of have what we wanted. There's a couple hiccups. This is supposed to be yellow, and this background is supposed to be behind this div. This looks cool, by the way.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to just adding this, but all right. So how would we do that? I'm thinking we could have some sort of div that's behind it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So let's go back to our actual component. And behind this, let's just add a div. We can call it, give it a class name of css.background. So right now it's just gonna look the same. So if we go back to the stats, now we have something inside of Gameboard called background, right? And this is a good example of how we can use Sass instead of CSS to do this. Yeah, so you want this background to have this background image. Does anyone know how we can get this behind the board? Oh,
We could just it's a display one.
display.
Display something I can't think of.
Anyone want to pitch in? Happen?
Like behind or something. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Behind.
It's probably not actually it, but
So let's look for this component because I don't even see the background right now. So right now it has
Isn't the empty slots have like a solid color, so you're not gonna see it,
right.
right?
So let's
It's
take that out
transparent.
first. Good point. Empty. So let's say background color. I think I heard transparent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. Nice. Uh-oh.
Jenny. Jenny.
You can't dilemma. It's kind of tough. Now that I'm thinking about it. Interesting. Oh crap.
Why don't you just make a background component and put our game board in that background component? And
That's
What do you
probably the
mean?
easiest.
Okay, so
Right.
make a background component. Are you in the actual? You gotta show me what you're talking about.
No, I'm not in. I'm just throwing ideas there.
So you're
It's
saying-
basically your same like div idea.
Why don't we try position relative
for what?
game board?
Position relative for game board. You have to, so everyone follows what we're doing. Try to, explain your thought process behind why
For
any
me?
recommendations are made. Just anyone in general.
Yeah. No, what I'm trying to do is I want to hide the overflow, and basically I want to put the background image so that it's on top of the one of the blue background.
Right.
And so if I use the hold on. Yeah, so if I put that class right next to the wrapper, then it should take priority. Like it should be like in front of.
Right. So one thing I noticed about the background is right now it has a 0 height. So I'm giving it a height, and I'm also giving it position relative. Okay, so now we have this inside. Probably don't want that. So what can we change this position to?
Yeah. Oh, but we have Flexbox. Oh, that's why. No, we should try. Let's see.
I still don't. Does anyone else see the? I put this on Z index 2. Does it show?
Yeah, I saw it was negative, so I was gonna ask you why is it negative? But then, let's see, how did I have it before?
I don't even see it.
It's like very, very slight. I like just barely see it.
Give me a second. Oh no, it's not there.
You can see the.
Says it's there.
I can't see the background at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you could see it.
No.
No, it's not there.
So, what's the current like layering going on?
Yeah, it seems like something's funky.
I'm just trying to picture like the background, the yellow background is the furthest back layer, or no, that's in the middle. The slot's on top,
Right.
and then the yellow background's in the middle, and then our SpongeBob image is the furthest back layer, right?
Right. That's how it's supposed to be.
So the problem is that the background is not transparent where the slots
Right.
are.
Yeah.
Could we add transparency to the SpongeBob image? Opacity?
Well, that
You know, what might be easier, just to skip all of this, is we say if it's empty. This is very cheesy, but we could just say if it's empty, we have this slot, and we say background image. Darn.
so we're gonna have like a bunch of tiny bubble towns.
Yeah, bunch of tiny bubble towns. Yeah, we could do background size. Is it contain or cover?
Cover.
Cover, I think.
No, Jimmy.
Sweet.
Eh.
We got bubbles.
Can you use no repeat where you're doing that?
Can we use what?
No repeat where you're doing that? I've never really done CSS on React, so I'm not sure.
Right now, what we're doing is we have this image that we pulled in from SpongeBob. I'm kind of scared to click the Bikini Bottom tab, but we have this background in each one of these slots now, right?
Okay.
So.
What if you put the red? Is it still show red on top or red and black?
No, we just gotta put it in the blue square background.
I think this makes it clear that it's empty, though, right? Or not? What about this?
I mean,
That
if you
makes
put
it
the,
look like each
put
of the
an image of a-
tokens is a little SpongeBob token.
something
Okay,
like that.
yeah, so that's not right. So how about this? I'm guessing here, right? Because still trying to figure out. Let's try to do background color. Is black. Oh, but that wouldn't work because black is one of our colors. Is
Like gray or something? Something that we're not using?
let's do beige.
Beige.
Yeah, and then we could do content, I think.
Where's my thing? So 100.
Oh, that didn't work. So we could put empty inside of these slots now. Name slots. I'm guessing. I'm just doing this to test it out what it looks like. This brings up a good point that a lot of times what happens is we end up using so we have empty here. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's gonna work.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, man. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in that. So it's kind of just. So we have this. We could do the display flex again, right? Flex. is it align items, center, specify content.
Justify content.
So this should center everything, and then we could just make the text smaller. So we can say font size 0.8 rem. I'm definitely just guessing on sizing here, so try 7. I'm just gonna put a random font weight. Oh, that looks a little bit better. It doesn't look too good, but for now we can figure out how to do the background. That'll be part of the after. Just because I can see that taking a lot of our time if we don't approach it the right way. So we'll move this after. Slot sizing. So instead of making this text any smaller, you could probably just make these circles bigger. Did someone click this?
I think you just did.
Oh, I thought someone was interactive with my screen. I was gonna be pretty cool.
No.
Okay, so we have this. We want to make these slots actually bigger. So if we look at this component, just this here, it's the slot display. Does anyone want to change that?
What's it?
Be this one. So that's probably why it wasn't working at first, right? We were using the game slot instead of slot display. Anyone want to change this? Or
I wish I can.
Yeah, I can't. My computer will crash.
what's a good pixel? 55 instead of 40?
But what is this? What is the slot display? The actual circle?
It looks like an egg.
Yeah, that does.
Try.
You think it's because of the border radius?
Maybe. Yeah, the beginning.
So one thing I found out about the border radius is percents don't necessarily always work. Still not there. Let's try 6 rem. Not changing at all.
No, it's gonna be a little bit. To make it a circle, with rem is gonna be. Radius percentage in there.
That look better?
Oh, actually, that was pretty good. Yeah, 50-50.
I don't know why that still looks cool. So we have this view. We can add another checkbox.
Wait, maybe I get distracted, but is there a reason we're not doing like we're doing different width and height?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're playing around with the actual border radius, right? So originally we had, where are we? Slot. Okay, so originally we had, we're gonna go back. We had 50%. I was giving this. So if we change this to, it's giving it kind of an oval shape.
Yeah, I think the width and the height was like rounding it. So when we were adding the border radius was like creating another circle in there, and that will make it like oval.
Are you guys sure that's from the border radius? That seems like there's something going on where the height is not the same as the width, in spite of what you've declared.
So let's try rims instead. See if that changes something.
90%.
So let's say 4 rims each.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sweet.
Oh.
What happens when you?
It's weird, right?
Is it related to the frame?
Honestly, I remember going on YouTube one time, and this doesn't apply to every use case, but there was this one special case that a guy was talking about where the height was referencing the width for some reason in certain scenarios with CSS. So there's all these extra case rules that I found out there are in CSS, which is why a lot of people you'll see people specialize in CSS because of all of these special case rules.
Wait, was that the app CSS? Is something funky maybe going on the board CSS? And like it's like overriding it or something?
See, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
I feel like there's
going,
something that's happening in the other CSS file
outside.
that's like reading first.
Could be that radius.
Which one? Which one, Emily?
I don't have it open because my computer can handle that. But I'm saying that I know that there's the several CSS files, and I'm just guessing is something maybe in like board.css that's overriding app.css and causing this.
It could be, but no, I think this one is just because it's like, I don't know, like I told you, it's like rounding. It's like you're putting a circle inside a circle. So it creates that.
So I have a question.
But,
so when looking at these, we have game slots, right? And here's a better one.
That's the actual
So
class?
with these game slots, they have a certain height and width. So what if
They
we
ha-
just set their height to 100% of this game slot?
You could, but I mean, there should be like a square. I mean,
Would it be like auto? What would that do? Like just to try that out.
But
So
it's
as long
not
as this is position relative, we should be able to say height and width 100%, right?
Yeah.
try that. But I see that the games law is the
Sounds
one
like a scam.
that has the circle shape. Oh, okay.
So I think what was happening is for some reason the scaling, when we were giving it a direct height and width, it was kind of, and you'll run into these all the time where you doesn't quite make sense what's going on. So I'm actually glad Gabe told us to go back on this. So we figured out why. It has something to do with the actual height and width that we were giving it, right?
We're like forcing it.
Yeah, for some reason, this is way more than 4, and this was just 4. Yeah, cool. So
Yeah, I think like the text is the one that is forcing to be circle. Like, so the game slot is the class that is that is designing the circle, but since we have like an empty text, that's the one that's actually like rounding it.
So now we have this problem where it's not empty anymore, and we still have empty text. So this is part of the actual logic that we can get back to.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But then I was confused because I was seeing 50 pixels. So I don't know which one was actually running it. But now I know. Like,
so this is kind of a not on topic completely, but our next project. I have something in mind, but I just want to hear anyone else's ideas about what our next project we should build are. Anything that you've seen.
Question: didn't you choose this one?
The Connect 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm looking it up.
another game? You want to do another game?
Another game?
I don't know.
I have an idea that that uses APIs, a lot of UI, and
I have Okay, so all right. I guess we'll kind of let's just start yelling them out. Might as well. Let's yell them out.
What about
I'm all ears.
Wait. Why don't we write them down as we are yelling them out?
Touche. Let me make a Google Sheets. Anyone want, while I'm doing this Google Sheets thing, anyone want to try to fix the empty not showing up when there's a player inside issue?
I'll try to join in.
It's in the slot.js.
I don't know. I mean, the live share is not working for me. I'm trying to see why. It's the second time it happened.
By the time we do our next game, I'll have my new computer and I'll actually be able to join once you.
Nice.
You know, actually, live share. I think you can use VS Code now on your browser.
Yeah, I think that's what it was trying to do, Mike.
Let me. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's sad. It's
Let
okay.
me see. Yeah, my God. It's just, I think it says like permission denied or something. Basically, I cannot see the file.
Spreadsheet.
Another Google Sheets.
Yeah. So just put
You have to give we have to give us access, Kyle. Requested access.
Oops. And this is on the wrong account. Anyone with the link? All right, save. Does it work now?
Yep, I'm in. It's loading up.
Cool. So going back to this slot.js, we have this empty variable. So if we're thinking about how we're changing this class, we're using this logic here, right? Sorry. So we're using this player class, which is here. So if we look, we have CSS player 1, CSS.player 2, or CSS.empty. So using this logic, so we don't have to write custom logic, how can we use that here? A hint is we'll probably have to add some.
Or just do a ternary thing and check for the is empty, CSS empty.
Like
equal? No.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to do ternary? So you want to do it like this?
Do you want it to return that empty thing, right? That empty string or no?
Yeah. So
Then yes.
there's two separate ways I think of this, either that or also you could do and, because the way JavaScript reads things, or code in general, I guess. But once this is a falsy value, or truthy, it goes on to the next one. If not, it just doesn't. But we do it this way also. It's pretty cool. This gives us two separate types of ways we can write this logic, right? So I'll put the other one here, kind of as a note. I don't see any ideas in the Google Sheets. I'm not sure if anyone wrote in them or not, but I'll put mine, I guess. And idea.
We are view only.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I see how you're trying to keep your reign over the idea.
I'm view only. Kyle?
Oh, anyone can edit. Thank you for letting me know that.
Just edit access.
Is that better now?
I had to request access from.
I have to request access again too.
Let me try something else. 1 second. I'm sorry.
You can
I'm
like
on a,
select the drop
I used
down
the
link
wrong
for access.
Google account. I think that's what it was.
Oh.
Cool. Blank.
I think we should say our ideas and then write it down so it can mature, because like an idea just written down there, I don't know, it's hard to bloom it.
Any ideas?
What if we do like a opponent for Connect Four or some other game you guys think of?
What? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Board game?
Like an opponent, a computerized opponent.
An AI for it? Oh, dang.
Yeah, that you play against.
That's
Like chess? No, not chess.
Yeah, like
Chess.
I mean, like a board game or
Any game really. I don't know. Just it could be Connect Four maybe.
something like Connect Four.
You have to explain more of it, of your idea behind that.
So it's just like like if you Google Connect Four online right now, you could like play against the computer, and then you could have like different difficulties, like easy.
Oh, so like yeah. So expand it, yes. So like, oh, I see. So like, put
So
it to the next
expand
level.
this into AI.
So I don't know if it's I don't know like how much AI it's using or how exactly like it's implemented. But I'm thinking like we click a button or something and then it'll start the game. And then wherever you click, the computer will go after and decide like what they're gonna do, and then it's your turn. Like, it switches.
Let's actually do that. Let's write it. I think I shared the link again. This is the new link.
Give us access.
Request access again.
I think
Okay.
Oh my god.
I see other people.
I
in.
have the.
I
Maybe
put
I'm
anyone
just
with
gonna
the
go to
link.
the link again. Maybe I just can't.
It looks like I'm in here.
No, it's loading. It's fine for me.
Oh man, you guys were about to make me stress out. I see dev people. That's punny. Who put that? Anonymous feedback.
I think that was
Okay.
Anonymous capybara.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that? Capybara?
Capybara. I don't know.
Capybara. All right. Cool. Going back to this, we have empty, and if I click this, all right, cool.
I see deaf people. Okay.
Nice. So we have another thing off the checklist.
Kyle, what's your idea?
My idea. My idea. Just to relate this more with web development. Now that we kind of did intense logic. I think my idea is creating a dashboard.
Nice. But any kind of dashboard?
And here's why. We can deal with multiple libraries, so we can look at other people's documentation, right? For a different library to use charts. We can pull in data from an API. And kind of sort it out in different ways of how we want to display stuff.
But what are we showing in the dashboard? What kind of API, so that we can start looking?
Wait, we haven't chosen. We haven't chosen Kyle's
man.
idea. We haven't chosen
Yeah,
Kyle's idea.
we haven't. We haven't.
All right, so yeah.
So I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to say.
Oh. I'll try to look for Daniel's idea for the kind of like add players to the Connect 4. I will try to see if I can research more about that. How can I add like first player, second player?
Like a start button, start like auto player.
Not so much auto player. I mean, I want to try like chess for now.
Oh, okay. No, I
And
was
if
thinking
no. And then
I
I
definitely
don't know.
messed up. I'm sorry.
we-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry for.
and then
Uh,
maybe we can jump a little into
I moved
into like
someone.
the auto player, but I don't know how that works.
I thought
So
that's what
anybody
you're
else
trying
has
to do.
any ideas?
we can do like a trivia, like a Jeopardy game.
Like questions, yeah, like a questions API.
Or like from like an API and have it be like a game. Like a,
I like that idea.
We could do a Harry Potter API.
oh my god.
Harry Potter. Ooh.
And I have a good
Right,
Harry Potter
yeah.
API with
No,
Like about-
please,
about
no,
what?
please, no,
I love Harry Potter.
no,
I
Henry
love
Porras,
Harry
no.
I named my cat after your character.
We can even put a sorting hat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very one.
So it's like
Yeah,
whoever like
maybe.
has their idea, write it down on the.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write my idea down.
So
But to have it be like a sorting hat thingy.
The API that I have does. It's a random though.
Hey, I have a question. For anyone looking at the board, right now, I think the yellow makes the whitish beigeish background look hard to see.
Yes, I
That
can't
makes-
see anything. Unless you put a border on that circle, it's gonna be hard.
It makes what to see? Hard to see?
Hard.
The circle hard to see.
Hey. Yeah, we need some kind of border, I think.
Why don't you add like a darker yellow border as if it was like kind of like a shadow in looking into a hole?
Oh, so just change the border color. I don't know if anyone has VS Code. Just kidding.
What?
Yeah, just kidding. But I like this color picker that it naturally has.
Yeah, it's very neat.
It's really
prettier,
cool.
right? Yeah, I think it comes with prettier one of those.
No, I think that's just with VS Code.
If you click on it, it tells you the RGB, the hex color, and the other one. If you click on the middle.
Is this better?
Maybe even a little lighter.
Okay. It's no worries with this plugin that they got here.
Maybe make it. Do we want to make it like just a pixel or two thicker?
With the weekend box shadow, that will make it better.
Like this.
See? So
That's yeah, that looks good.
Looks fancy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anybody else has more ideas?
I had an idea for the background image, and I'm not sure if it would work, but I'm wondering if we need to just do, like, instead of doing a solid background image, element there, instead just do, like, each game slot, do a clip path of a circle, and then you just fill in the background with that SpongeBob image.
And move the background to different positions based on the slot.
Well, and then you just fill in you add like a background slot, like a square, I don't know, a background to each slot when the token arrives. Maybe that'll still be behind the clip path, but in front of the SpongeBob background with the color.
So
Does that make sense?
So to follow what you're saying, these are clip paths.
Each one would be like a square clip path filling the grid space.
Right. And like, let's say the picture is this big. This one would have the picture here, while this one would also have the picture, but the position would be kind of in the same place, right?
Yeah, I think so. If you go to, I feel like if you search clip path maker, there's like an easy clip path generator.
Really? Clip path maker. I've never tried that.
Yeah, I think it's bennettfeely.com/clippy. I can drop it in the chat. I use that whenever I need a clip path.
Wow. Okay.
Goat. You're the goat, man. So we have 3 ideas so far.
Anybody else has an idea?
All of these sound cool, by the way. Anyone else have any ideas, or we're gonna kind of vote on 3? Makes it easier to vote.
Maybe
I
a
have an
game,
idea.
or I don't know. I'm not really down to anything.
I have an idea. Mine is a little more complex. So there is this like messaging system called Telegram.
A chat.
Yeah.
You want to go chat?
Basically, Telegram allows you to create your own like chat system, right? Using their API and their server. So we could create an extension of the Connect port, kind of like the older of you guys, people that are older, like me, that played on games on like MSN. You guys remember the MSN app? And there were games there. No.
MSN, like MSN.
Yeah, like the messenger from back in the day from
Windows.
Hotmail. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I remember.
So they used to have games there. So you were chatting with somebody and you can play like tic-tac-toe and some other random games like that. We could create an interface with this guy Telegram and add our game into it and actually have people playing
that's funny.
with each other.
So
I forgot about that.
You gotta type it down in the ideas.
Donald, it's like an in-game chat.
Oh, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a chat. If I use it for like communicating with people, but you can actually use their API to create your own version of it if you want.
I see they have a bot API too.
They also have a bot API, correct?
I like it.
Yeah,
I'll take a look. Yeah, maybe later. Have to bookmark it. Okay, I'm kind of curious. How does ClipPad works? I mean, user with circle.
Oh.
Nice. So that's the radius, right? Well, I cannot see it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it just generates the clip path CSS for you right there at the bottom.
50%. Wow.
So this 43.
You're crooked. Or like you're missing. Yeah, it's not centered completely.
If you probably, that works.
So this is the actual picture, or is this the radius?
Basically, you can have the slot element. Like, say you set that highlighted to like 35% instead of that 49.3.
I would have to do it here.
You could do that, yeah. So you could set that. Basically, you use this to define your like each token like square on the board.
So you're saying create this entire image.
Well, no. So basically, what are the individual like board square components?
Game slot.
Yeah, like each game slot. Is there like a parent component that's a little bigger, or do we just define? We just need to.
Right now, the parent component has the same height and width as this circle.
Yeah, so ideally you would want, like your say game slot or whatever element to all of those different game slots combined to create the board. And so then you just give those, a color of that yellow, and then this clip path clips out a shape that will, should
Right.
show through.
But I guess my question is, how do we change the actual position of the image?
Well, that you just define it by giving the whole board a background image. So this should basically clip out an element of.
I think I see what you're saying. Okay.
It basically creates a cutout of your element
Right.
according to the shape you define. And so you just need to assign a background image behind that element to show through.
I see. So do I click this to go to it, or is it just this?
Just that, it should be mostly what you need, I think. I haven't done a ton with clip path.
Sounds interesting.
Hmm.
So I guess we can do it empty.
Maybe.
We'll change this back to 50%. Now we need a background image.
SpongeBob.
Missing something. Page. Okay. So now, if we give all of these a separate, I think I see what you're saying. So if we go back to
like the whole board, yeah, and set
Game
that
board.
background image.
Right.
So this CSS dot background technically covers the entire thing. So then these.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's make sure CSS dot background has something there. Position 0 pixels. 0 height. I don't think we need position absolute anymore, actually. Okay, let's try this. So I think this is only going to work if we actually put this image.
But I think now, like your empty tokens, they need you need to give them, it's either a color or a background color. I think a background color on the empties of that yellow. Because we haven't assigned anything, so there's nothing being clipped out. It's just all showing through.
So here?
Yeah, I think so.
Background color beige.
And that. So maybe try just. Right now we have it reversed from what we want.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What if you say color instead of background color? I think we want just color.
Color is just going to refer to the text. I'm trying to think how this is working, right? So we have clip path, circle, etc. I'm trying to see. I'm curious if does this take you anywhere?
Try this. So like the clip path goes under the image. I mean, the background or background. Let me try.
Oh, they have an actual clip. Inset.
No, man. Not that one. What that was? Oh yeah, you're right.
It's the inset, right?
We can replace that one with the one that we have, the radius. We don't need inset here since we're trying to make a circle.
So are we putting it on empty or?
That one. Yeah. Let's put it in empty. Yeah. And then the background goes on where it was. I think it was. Let me see.
Right now.
Where's? Well, what do we have in background? The class.
What do we have? Background?
Yeah. I don't see it.
What are we trying to do?
I'm trying to clip on the actual. I mean, the class that covers the slot, the circle display.
Difference between clipping and masking. So, does anyone know the difference between clipping and masking?
No, I don't remember.
Mask is like when something's over it and you're like.
I think we want a mask, right, instead of clip.
Let's just try to go back to where it was.
Well, mask is when you can have it over and like select like this pieces.
Yeah, let's just try to put it where it was. So the empty. Oh, I see. So the empty is the one on text, but why is the empty transparent? Let me see.
So the image.
Yeah, the image is gonna be our background. So the one that we have.
So I think that's where we're missing this, the actual image. So if we go back to board, and we have this background right here.
Yeah, that will be that will be like the image on the example.
So instead, this is an image.
What?
If that happens, then we have to get a. Oh yeah, we can just get a.
I was laughing at my cat.
A bikini bottom picture from there.
Last name equals CSS background, and then on background, it looks like that's where we put the clip.
Yep.
So we were putting it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The empty confused me.
You might have to come back to this one if it doesn't. You have image. What I don't want to do is break what we've already built. So
no, we can just we can go back.
All right, so we have this image. We have this image tag here.
You know what? No, I think it's because oh no, that one is React, right? No. Probably have to go back to where we have because
247. Are you missing a tag somewhere in there?
Someone just deleted the closing image tag, I think. No, that's not it.
This one goes to this game board. Okay. Oh boy.
Oh,
Damn.
all right.
We're
So,
close. We're close.
Sold.
so it clipped like, yeah.
So we just need multiple circles for each of these empties.
Oof.
Okay, let's I'm gonna wrap this one up just so we don't.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to the background for now.
Yeah,
Let's
it could be a little bit difficult because we gotta plan it first with a wrapper.
all right, let's try to revert these changes really quick. So we have, oh crap, what is that? We have all of this. We don't need background anymore. Let's go back to slots, CSS, empty. We have background color beige. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Okay, we're back to where we started. We have our, okay. Test this out. Do we still have a winner? Okay, we're back to a stable situation. Let's go to our next thing in the notes. Remember, guys, this is a celebration. We're not trying to go down a rabbit hole. I don't want to.
I apologize. I feel like I triggered this rabbit hole.
That's definitely okay. I wish we had
Without
more time. I just don't want to, everyone's Memorial Day is today. I don't know about anyone else, but I haven't enjoyed mine yet. I had a really long drive back to Boca.
Nice.
All right, so we have whose turn? Yeah, so I'm waiting to get my strawberry wine. Whose turn is next? So let's try to do that. That should be pretty simple, right? That's just in the board.
A board.
So we can make a div here. Someone else can name it something if you want. And we could say
Second player.
this, like a H2. This or it is player. What do we want to put here? Player something's turn. What do we want to put here? Probably use some state that we have, right?
Reading.
Does anyone know the state for which player it is? Turn, right?
Players 0.
So we'll do, so player 0, Alan, is, we go back up here. We have this players array where we have player 1 and player 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so player 0 is just saying player 1.
Player 1.
So if we put here, someone wants to type this. I feel like random people are saving this. I keep seeing it saved. It's that state, that turn. See what this says. Oh, geez, we don't want that.
Oof.
So, where are we putting the board? We want this adjacent to the board.
It should be different div, and it can flow depending on the size of your frame, right? So if it's open, it could go on top, and if it's squeezed, it can go on the right side.
This is actually a good time to explain why we would use fragment instead of a div. So React.fragment, if we take this, if anyone else wants to explain it, please help Kyle out.
Let me Google.
Okay.
Let's see if I can remember it. Oh, never mind.
So React.fragment, while Alan's pulling up the actual definition, it kind of just says, don't add a div here, but this is still one parent. There's probably a better definition than that, but basically it's just printing all of this. But let's say you have two things, like another div here. Remember how React, because you do this, if you didn't have the React.fragment, it would throw an error saying you need one single parent. So I think that's the main time I use fragments.
Yeah, you're using two divs. Yeah. So what he's saying is like, yeah, if we're using two divs or any other wrapper, we have to use the fragment.
Go. So let's try this. Hopefully it's not on the board now. A little better. Cool. So we have it is player, one turn. So you probably don't. I'm not sure how anyone wants to style this or not. If
It's ready for me to write it, but I just can't.
Cool. That's strange. Oh, we could probably get this to say the winner also.
Where on the actual circle, or where?
On the
here.
Yeah, where it says it is players two's turn. We could probably, once someone wins, so here, right? We have player one as the winner, so we could put that
there,
right here,
and have little confetti fall. Ta-da.
All
Cool.
right.
Let's put this in a box though. So we'll just say score box, class name equals score box. So did we ever vote on the project that we're doing starting next week?
Negative.
No, we didn't.
Let's put tallies here. If we're kind of on the judgment train here, scale. So please only put one, but put a 1 next to whichever one you vote for. So in column C, I would put a 1 here, right? And then if someone else wanted to vote, they'd put a 1. I'm gonna do it kind of like tally marks. Ooh, Harry Potter.
More votes, yeah. I have a question. If we do like besides the Harry Potter, can we have one that has like general knowledge questions? And can we use it or no?
What do you mean?
Yeah, like are you smarter than a fifth grader, or I don't know, any other questions that
Oh, you're talking about for Jeopardy?
Jeopardy.
Yes.
Wait, can we vote for more than one?
You cannot vote for your own.
For more than one?
Oh, you can vote for more than one, but you have to put a different number on it. So put a 2 if you vote for more than one, so you can keep track of it. And 3, etc.
I don't know what to put. This looks longer.
Oops. Oh. Okay, so we're probably gonna have to
just put them on the side. Yeah. Just put them on the side. And we'll tally up.
Dashboard.
Can we do a mail-in ballot?
A mail-in ballot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry.
What is going on? Somebody's cheating over there.
No, I didn't cheat. I just accidentally overwrote someone's 1 at first, so I replaced it.
It'd be like 4. Yeah.
What do you mean? It should be 1, 1.
Score box.
I'm kind of confused by this.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
This
That's 1.
Um,
That should be 1. And then don't put a 1 on top. Just add them to the other boxes.
Thank you, Alan. You're a lot more organized than me.
Yeah, the 2 makes it almost look like that there's like more votes for that, but it's just like a different vote. That's
All right, we got 4,
How
3,
democratic we are.
7.
like a letter or something, but it's like vote put A if you like it. I don't know.
All right, I think Damien is out.
Cool.
Yep.
Let's see who else we got. Lena still, she's still be there. Megan, yeah. Yeah, we should have a few more votes. Let's see, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Almost like a
5,
tie on everything.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 unique votes.
I'll vote again.
Hmm?
Even things up.
What? They hear you.
I'll vote again if you want me to even things up.
No.
Well, then everything will just have 2 votes. And
True. And we'll end up in the same boat.
yeah, I mean, like we could just do it again, but just with the 3 that have. The 3 of them have 2 votes, and 1 of them has 1. We could just do it again. Just the ones that have 2 votes, like the winners. I don't know.
That's a fantastic idea. Let's just do that.
I will be the last one. So you know.
All right.
Yeah, let's just
And-
delete everything.
Wait.
Put them in the back burner. Don't delete them. Put them in possible things for the future.
Yeah, we'll put that in a second. We'll move them up. All right. Vote.
Or guess.
Oh, easy.
And I'm trying to remember what was the other one.
It was Harry Potter.
Oh,
It was Harry Potter.
And the other one,
The
it was
AI
yeah,
one.
yeah, the AI.
The who?
Daniel.
AI.
I'll write it.
All right.
Thank you.
The computer response.
Okay, that's impossible. I mean, we had 7 votes before. Now we have
Oh, wait, I don't
5.
We're dwindling.
Everybody's just giving up.
Need one more. Oh, it's for real.
Only one.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Another tie.
Who voted for
Who do I vote?
Jeopardy?
I think I'm the last one.
Did anyone vote for their own?
No.
No, I'm the last one.
I
I
didn't vote
haven't,
for me.
What do you mean you're the last one? That can't be.
I haven't voted.
Well, it seems like there were more
Betty
votes
votes for
last
Jeopardy.
time. What?
I bet
Okay.
he votes for Jeopardy, and then we
Yeah.
end up in a tie again.
There you go. Choose between the 2 winners.
Yeah, because the Telegram. Gotta push too much time. We have a tie.
This is why we should have like a bot, and Discord you can have like bots that you can that's what we can do. Let's put him on the Slack, and then you can we can do like an
There you
emoji.
go. Okay.
Like a ghost.
We have
of
a
you.
winner.
Oh, yeah. See, like
If you like a dinosaur, if you like the other one, I don't know.
a
That's
question.
alright.
Yeah, like a little survey.
Okay,
That would be good.
so let's put all these ideas here. And now we have a whole bunch of
No,
ideas.
somebody voted twice. This is like not good.
Nobody voted. What?
Yeah, somebody voted twice.
No,
I saw it. I saw it move. I can see it in real time moving.
no. We took out the Jeopardy one, so they can just pick between the other two.
Yeah, it's just the two.
No, but they did. Oh.
That's fine. No worry. I mean, we'll get to all of this. I mean, the idea is to
There's
make
13
sure we
people.
get
We have only 7 votes.
more. Yeah, no. Some people are fall asleep early. All right. What are we gonna do next Monday? Are we gonna finish this one and then we're gonna move to the new one?
This is finished. What we really wanted to do is get the logic down, right? We just didn't want to. This is Memorial Day. I don't know if anyone was going to do anything.
I did already.
Exactly, I did. So I just wanted to kind of, take a moment to breathe. Realize we've done a pretty good amount of stuff already, right? Now it's on to the next, and we're doing things with this next project now, which is the dashboard one.
Hey.
Cool.
Who won?
Dashboard.
Dashboard idea.
All right. So
Okay, so dashboard for next Monday. FYI, so tomorrow, bocajs.org, Damien is going to host that talk on, what's it called? Strappy?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I put it on the Slack. It's going to be on, I put it on tech events. Strappy is an instant API backend in Node.js. It's a two-part.
Oh, Strappy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So check it out tomorrow, 6:30 EST.
Yeah, Strappy is cool.
Yeah, you used it. Cool.
Yeah. Like a headless CMS. If you guys go to that, anyone who's doing the Grammerhub web project, remember the issue we were talking about with the blog?
Yeah.
That would be an interesting solution for the blog. So if you end up
That's true. So we don't need to use Google Docs because that sounds like it could be kind of confusing.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is that? Well, if we didn't use it, was because could that be used with Next.js? Because
what, Strappy?
Yeah. No, I'm saying for yeah.
Strappy 100% can be used with
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it connects to multiple databases, but you can connect to Mongo. You'll hear all about it tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be a really good solution. Google Docs just sounds like it could be a nightmare, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a little novice.
Yeah, I'm kind of beginner to Strappy, so but it sounds easier than Google Docs.
What's cool about it? I don't want to say too much because you're gonna hear it tomorrow, but a lot of it comes out of the box, so it's really you don't have to master anything. It's really cool.
Donald, do you have any announcements? Anything on your side?
Yes, very important. It's raining.
Yeah.
Thank you for the weather report.
Yeah, thank you, Donald. Go check outside.
Classic Donald. All right, so this is what I did for player one turn. If anyone is looking at this,
we are.
Kind of did this. Player 2-1. Okay, just like that. And yeah.
But that wasn't correct. Wasn't that player one? Player one is right. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. One
realize
mistake. Missed that state that winner. Thank you, Donald. Okay, we'll try this again. Here. 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 Okay, now we got it.
It's nice.
Okay. Yeah. So really, we just wanted to make this look prettier, and we got it there now. That was a pun intended, by the way, because of React prettier type of technology. Pretty lame. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So we settled on doing dashboard next. Does anyone before we kind of go our separate ways? Has anyone heard anything about dashboards? Any library you want to use or API? We don't even know which data source we're picking next, so that would be a good, interesting thing to hear from anyone.
I missed that. You got cut off. What was that again? Whole part?
Any APIs or libraries that anyone recommends or thinks we should take a look at, right? Because with this data dashboard, we're just dealing with data, converting it using a library.
Well, what's it going to be a dashboard of, though?
That depends on the data source API that we're pulling from. I know if you guys go to kaggle.com.
Put the link in there.
So
Please.
so that means the dashboard has to be ready, like the design, like the front end part has to be ready for Monday.
No.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, because there's two parts, the front end and the back.
So we're going to scratch. We're basically going to try to build each type of chart that they have, right?
Oh,
so,
I see. Like a little. Oh, I see. So just the component. Oh,
right.
I have to look it up. I mean, I think I have an idea, but I just try to think what data are we gonna be using for the API.
And you could search React.js charting libraries.
Kyle, are you recommending anything for us to review before next Monday?
Yes. Review a charting library. I would recommend something like I'll put in here also.
Thank you.
Something called React. I don't want to misspeak. React Chart JS 2 or something like that.
Okay, so React. It's chart.
Yeah. React Chart JS 2. Kind of just look at their documentation. I think next week what we're gonna do is kind of dissect the documentation and play around with it before we start integrating the data.
Oh, pie graphs. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you think will help everyone?
APIs in general, I guess we kind of talked about it at the beginning, right, when we first started Grammerhub, but I guess a refresher on APIs and that data, it'll be pretty cool. I think now, since we're a little bigger, we could start splitting this into two separate parts, talking about the back end and the front end, right? The back end will separate the times depending on who's interested in that. So if you are interested in learning more back end technology, shoot me a link so I could tally everyone up, and we could figure out how we're going to separate that timing. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of start separating this into. It's obviously full stack, but back end and front end groups, if that makes sense. Because certain people want experience in other technologies as well as React.
Could we be on both?
Yes, you can be in
Okay.
both.
Awesome.
Really, really cool.
All right. Yep.
Sounds good. Guys, you have any questions for the group, for Kyle?
Cool.
This is the time.
Thank you.
Also, I really liked the idea of, I really liked the idea of that Daniel brought up about the player playing back. I think it would be cool to kind of do something like that. So, Daniel, if you have time later on in the week, you can schedule something, and then once we figure out a time, we can invite everyone else who wants to join. Kind of working on that, I think would be pretty cool. Even if it's like randomized, the computer picks. I think that would be pretty cool.
What is it?
Just like computer, like you playing against the computer.
Oh, yeah, the idea.
Yeah, I think that's super dope.
You should add it to
Can you
the
share some
add it
links
to the
of that?
list.
Are we
I
gonna
think
be using like Python for that, for the AI?
Python. We could definitely. We can use Python. I was thinking just TensorFlow.js.
Yeah, what do you recommend? Because yeah, you hear the.
Since we're already in JavaScript. Yeah, but I think how I was gonna start it off is it kind of just randomly selects within a certain range. I think that would be pretty cool though. So yeah, just Slack me if you're interested.
Got it.
Cool. Guys, thank you for assisting and coming in today. One Monday at a time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One thing, really quick. Give me 1 second.
Oh Lord. Well, I hope it's not the bikini bottom hand.
Oh God.
You cooked something. What did you cook? Are you showing your pasta again?
This is a personal recommendation.
See your bread?
What?
Look at that.
It's fire.
Yeah, you drove like 5 hours to get one of those, I think.
Yeah.
You said it was in a plantation?
8 hours total. Yeah. No, it's near Ruskin, near Tampa.
Ruskin.
Oh, West.
Oh shit, that's far.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah, it has to be like.
Is it from like that winery up there? Or is it just like from like
It
public
is. It's from the winery. They sell to public.
Go there this
That's
summer,
why-
but Corona.
Let me see that again.
I tell you what,
Yeah, just like the website.
if they ever did go public, I will be buying it.
So
Awesome.
what is it? Just like a sweet strawberry wine?
Well, they just have different fruits wine.
Do they have,
My
like,
favorite one is peach.
They have like really sour.
They do have sour wines also. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Like for example, they have a grapefruit wine.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think my favorite one's peach. Just a recommendation. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm gonna recommend Heineken.